What's going on, everybody? Figured I would give it a little bit of time before I came out and said my piece on what all went down in Charlottesville yesterday about the white supremacist group that showed up that hijacked the rally, about Antifa, BLM, about the media coverage of the rally, just about the removal of monuments and statues in general. First of all, I'd like to get out that I'm not a racist. I do not believe that anybody is superior to anybody else based on race, based on the color of their skin. I don't agree with anybody who believes that way. Whether they be white, whether they be black, whether they be Asian, whether they be Hispanic, whether they be European, whatever. I don't agree with that sentiment. I was always raised that you judge a person by their character. You judge a person by their personality. You judge a person by the works they do, by the fruits of their labor, by the choices they make, by who they are as a person, not who they look like. And I know that the majority of people out there in the Patriot movement feel the same way. I watch. I'm not a big internet name in Patriot movement or anything like that, but I do watch a lot of the people who are. Will Johnson, the Black Rebel, Saad Kuzman Salman. I watch all these people, and they're, Will's black. The Black Rebel, of course, is black. Saad is an Arab, and I tell you that I would stand beside any of them and fight for this country, fight to take back our Constitution. Fight for freedom. For the freedom that we are guaranteed by our Constitution. So no, the Patriot movement and those on the right aren't racists. I mean, it's just a false narrative that's being pushed by the media. Were there white supremacists that showed up at that group? Yes. And they're not ashamed to tell you that they were. Was everyone at that protest or that rally white supremacists? No, not at all. So I watched the videos, I watched the live streams, and my personal view of it was that everything was going peaceful, and then Antifa shows up, and that's when you get the balloons with piss, the balloons with shit being thrown at people, rocks, just chemicals, pepper spray. That's when the violence started. Now, don't get me wrong. There was violence on both sides. Patriots did fight back. They didn't stand down. They did fight back. But I can tell you, as a person, that if I was in a park, I don't care if I was there to rally, if I was there to protest, if I was there playing volleyball, if I was there to bird watch, if I was there to read a book, and somebody threw a balloon filled with urine or a balloon filled with shit, and it hit me, violence, yes, violence will happen. I don't care about words. If you want to march and you want to chant, I do not care if your words make my blood boil. You have the right to do that. You have the right to say beliefs that I detest. That's your right by the Constitution. On the flip side of that coin, I also have the right. I have the right to speak my mind and speak my beliefs, and that's it. Does that mean I think I'm superior to anybody, especially because the color of my skin? No. No, by no means it does. We're at this place in the country where liberals and the liberal media wants to divide us all into these different categories. They want us to be, well, you're a white male. You don't know. You don't understand. Yes, unfortunately, I do understand. I'm a white male that was raised in one of the most poverty-stricken parts of this country. So unfortunately, I do understand about government oppression. I will never understand what it's like to be a minority, but I do understand about poverty. I do understand about being oppressed. I do understand about not having jobs. I do understand about when a president makes a decision that bankrupts an entire industry that an area of the country depends on for its very survival. I understand that. I understand that. Now, do I understand what it's like to be a minority? No. And I'll never say that I do, because I don't. But I also understand that we have history in this country. We have a history. Good, bad, indifferent. I mean, it's history. There's nothing we can do short of getting in a time machine and going back in time to change that history. Nothing. We have monuments. We have monuments that were built, that were erected to honor these men. That's history. Some of them have been standing 100 years. It's history. Why tear it down? Why tear it down? I got a better idea. You don't like that monument? Go raise some money and then erect a monument that you agree with right beside it. What's wrong with that? Or right across the park from it, or right across the street from it. Nobody is restricting anyone from doing anything. That's the thing. Sentiments change, people. Feelings change. Logic, reason never changes. It never changes. So 50 years from now, who's to say what's offensive and what's not? Who's to say that the very people who are screaming at the top of their lungs for the removal of these monuments won't be the very people in 50 years who are protesting to keep the monuments that others are wanting removed? So you're setting a precedent for yourself right now, and you don't even realize it. When you start trying to erase history, it's a slippery slope. History, if not remembered, will be repeated. That's why I say, no, I don't agree with all of America's history. I think we did some pretty bad stuff back in the day. Don't agree with slavery. Never have agreed with slavery. Think that all men should be free and should have the freedom to make the choices and to live the best life that they know how to live. But it happened. It's a stain on our heritage, and it's a stain that should be remembered, if for no other reason than to not repeat it. That's it. Well, everybody knows the story of the Civil War. Everybody knows that. 50 years from now, who's to say that? Everybody knows now that the Civil War was a war fought over slavery, which is not the case. Most of the people that fought for the Confederacy didn't own slaves. How about that? They didn't own slaves. Was slavery a part of the Civil War? Of course it was. But that's not the reason that we fought the Civil War. The reason of the Civil War is plain and simple over money and taxes. The federal government favored the industrious North. So the South had to sell their cotton and their agriculture products to the North at discount rates. Well, by the time those products were manufactured and sent back down to the South for resale, the taxes were on those products were so high that only the richest people in the South could afford them. So the South felt oppressed. Does that kind of sound familiar? It does to me. Sounds like a lot of what I hear today. Sounds exactly like what I hear today, if you want to know the truth about it. But nobody wants to tell the real story. Nobody wants to tell it. Because the U.S. government looks like heroes that freed the slaves, which, like I said, I'm happy that was a byproduct of the war. No man should be personal property. But think about it in this way. Would you rather your kids be taught in school, if you were in charge of the government or you were government officials, would you rather your kids think that the U.S. government freed the slaves and that's why that all these people died, or would you rather it was like, well, these people felt oppressed, they felt the government was putting their boot on their throat, so they fought back? Of course you're going to go with scenario one, because it makes the U.S. government out to look good. Think about that for a minute. All you people out there screaming about how oppressed you are today. Think about that. Imagine how oppressed those people were in those days. Like I said, I hear the same damn talk today that was probably happening in the South during the 1860s. Exactly. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. You know, I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm not a media outlet. I'm not a trusted journalist. I'm not a breaker of news. I'm not anything. I'm just a guy on the internet giving an opinion, and that's my opinion. So, don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to judge everybody that was there. There were good people there standing with the right. No matter, regardless of what the news says, there were good people there. They all weren't white supremacists. They all weren't racists. These racists saw the opportunity to step in and to hijack a movement, to hijack a rally, to get focus on their cause, and they took it. And it's a damn shame. It really is a damn shame. As far as the violence, I guess I spoke on that already. As far as the feeds and the live coverage I saw, it was pretty peaceful until Antifa showed up, about like any usual rally. Then the piss balloons and rocks and everything started flying, and I wouldn't expect anybody not to fight back, especially when the police was giving stand-down orders not to protect anybody. So if you're in a situation like that and you're getting stuff thrown at you and you're getting hairspray flamethrowers shot at you, you're getting hit with pepper spray, you're either going to fight back or you're going to get your ass kicked. Plain and simple. It's pretty clear the cops were giving orders not to intervene and to just let shit happen. So, that's what happens when people give it. Same thing with the L.A. riots. If you want to roll back in history, the L.A. riots, cops were giving the same order: stand down. What happened? That place went to hell. It got, buildings burnt, people were beaten to death. It's what happens when there's no law and order, when there's nobody there to hold law and order. Chaos ensues, which is probably what they wanted, so they could all get it on camera, talk about how racist the Patriot movement is, how they want to put minorities in chains and all this bullshit rhetoric that you hear. And the guy that run over the people in the movement, or run over the protesters. I don't know your motives. I don't know you. I don't know your motives. I don't know if you're a patriot. Well, I can tell you're not a patriot, because patriots don't do that. Don't act that way. That was a pretty chicken shit thing to do, and I'll say it right to you. That was a chicken shit move. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you support. That was a pretty chicken shit thing to do. Some people are saying that the guy was scared. He was, they were hurling rocks at him or whatever else, and he. I don't know. I don't know the story. I don't care. I don't think it justifies it. I think if you're in a car and you're getting rocks hurled at you, you still have your faculties to know which way you're going, whether you're going straight, whether you're going in reverse. You can still see out your windshield. So I don't know. But I will say I denounce that. That's a chicken shit thing to do. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the thing. You may disagree. You may agree. I don't know. Feel free to comment. We'll talk about it. I don't have any problems with anybody bringing up things that I might have missed, or throwing out opinions that I might not, that may be different than mine, that might give me a different perspective. I don't know. But that's how I see it now. Till next time, God bless you all. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And y'all have a good one. Take care.